Hey everyone, Nikki from Rustic Restyle here in North Canterbury, New Zealand, and it's a beautiful day here and perfect for getting on with some Christmas crafting. Now I have our Iron Orchid Designs beautiful tapers mould. There was two of them that they brought out this year. This we got Christmas tapers, which is exactly what it says, and angelic tapers. Quite self-explanatory. I thought we'll get into this package and we will get into the package. There we go, it's coming. Get on and make some of these with some silicone and show you how we go about that. The packaging is great because on the back they show you some ready-made of the molds and give you an idea of exactly what the designs look like, because sometimes that can be a little hard when they look like this. Yeah, now these are silicone, they're heat resistant to a certain degree, 300 and something Fahrenheit. I'd have to find that out for you. If you want to know, please ask. The name of the mold is written here and also along the side, which is really handy if you have one or two of these molds and you are storing them. Also in each mold, where's a good one for you to see? Up the top here, it shows a measurement for mils and grams. So when I'm using my resin, I can know exactly how many mils the liquid measurement will go in there. It works brilliantly. Grams, you can use your digital scales and work out exactly how many grams you're going to need of your air dry clay. So that is a really cool little innovator. And also, while I undo this one, we have what we call is the patented micro rim. Yep. So what is the micro rim? The micro rim is the little ridge, a little bit hard to see, a little rim that is all around each of the designs in the Iron Orchid design range, and it was really helpful for smoothing off your Iron Orchid design air dry clay. It's really neat for when you're doing your resin. It gives it a nice edge to come up to. Really helpful when you're using your molds. Now this wee guy is gorgeous. This is the angelic tapers, and there's that gorgeous detailed picture on the back for you to see what they turn out like. Look, these are gorgeous. They are simply gorgeous. Look at. Which one will we start with, guys? I don't know. Let's do some of these star tapers here, shall we? Okay, so what have I got? I have our amazing casting resin, which is really recommended by Iron Orchid Designs. It's a really good resin. There are all varieties out there, but we know this one works. Do I say I've never had a problem with it right from my very first go? Simply follow your instructions on the back, and it is really quite simple. What does this packet consist of? I'll give you two little measuring cups that have the measurements on the sides. There are two bottles, one is part A and one is part B, and there's a different colour, so that's helpful too. It comes with a couple of little stir sticks in the bottom there, and also another sheet with ideas and instructions and things as well. So that's quite good. So you can just put that in front of yourself and follow those instructions quite easily. Basically, what is it? It's about measuring two part products, part A and part B, together. Their chemical reaction makes the resin. All right, it's a casting resin. It's not one of these ones you pour all over. This one actually sets up in a mold and makes a cast. Let's just get on and mix this up and talk about this while you're watching, okay? So I'll pop you down here, and here's our wee mould here. That's better, isn't it? Okay, so we're going to look at doing the two here, the ones with the stars. How many mils? 14 mils. And just check, there's a little arrow at the side. It points to which mould it applies to. So 14 mils here for this guy, and this one is 20. So 20 and 14, 34. What's half of 34? 17, isn't it? So we need 17 mils of each part. All right. Now we start with part A, and we went 17 mils. So I know that is roughly about there. There's 15, so we'll go just above it. Now, do as I say, not as I do. I've done this quite a bit, so I know that if I eyeball that to there with just a fraction more, a drip or two more, and I put that down, and I straight away put my lid on, okay? Let's not have any accidents. Now, I also have a little paper cup. You can buy resin cups and all of that, but I mean, it's totally up to you. And I've just squeezed it here to form a spout. I have my trusty popsicle stick that I'll use as a stirrer. And we will tip that part A into there and scrape it out of the wee cup. Now the hint is keep separate cups for the separate pieces. You may like to write on the bottom, part A, part B, however, whatever works for you. Because if you mix your cups, ask me how I know. If you mix your cups, you end up with something like this because it starts to set up and work, So yeah, and I'm always pretty, get that last drop out. Wet wipes will give that a quick wipe out, and you can, put that together, no problems, and keep it for another time. Wash it out, however you like. Yep. Now, I'm just giving this one a little shake up. Oh dear, I might need a pair of pliers. Oh, cool, blimey, I haven't had that one happen before. So what do you do when lids stick? Well, sorry about the noise. Works great with the paint. Will it work with this? Oh, darn. Yes, it did. Look at that. Because what happens, by hitting it not too hard, because you don't want to break the lid, is you just break that seal, and there must have been a bit of resin just sitting in around that. And I'm going to get my baby wipe, because I haven't done that resin for a little while, and it's just obviously got on there, and we'll just quickly wipe that, and I'll also give the inside of that little lid a wipe. Yep, so that will help that stay good for another time. Okay, so we want 17 mils of this one as well, part B. 17 mils. It's quite good that it's a different colour, because if by chance you get caught talking or something and the lid goes on, and you can't remember which part you got in there, it's great because you've got colour differentiation. Yep. So when I add this to here, straight away a chemical reaction is starting to happen. And what happens is starts to turn a milky white, which is going to be, you can just Can you just see on the stick? It's turning a milky colour. Yeah. So keep stirring. Yeah, look, quite milky on there. Keep stirring until it turns clear. Now, scrape around the outside edges as well, up from the bottom. And I put my fingers on the bottom of the cup, you know, and I can feel a heat as well. Now, we don't need to put anything in our moulds, unlike when we are doing air dry clay. We use the cornstarch or corn flour. With resin, you just simply pour it in. Now look the difference there, it's clear. Okay, so, and yeah, it's come clear, and then I just give it a couple more stirs, yeah, just to make sure. Clean down the sides. Okay, now keep that stir stick handy, and we'll pop that mould here, and we might just see if we can tilt you down fractionally further, because there we go, that's better. All right, we're going to pour in these two here. All right, so I just start at one end, and having that little pouring bend in the cup there is great, and you can see that that's going in clear, and we're just gently filling as we go. And I can see there's a couple of little places there in the snowflake that haven't quite, it hasn't got into, so that's when you pick up your stir stick and you just encourage the resin into those finer details. You can also use a which I've got here, and it's a wee wooden skewer. Now it's gone into all the details there, which is great. And you know, my sums have been all wrong, I think, because I cannot see how that is going to be enough for the next one. All right, well, let's keep going. And if you go over the edge a bit, do not let it worry you, because what will happen is it will just peel off later. Yep. You know, you start to doubt yourself, and I do think my sums were a little off. I do have this feeling that they were a little off. But you know, my excuse is that I am not 100% with these blimmin' crack ribs. So let's just encourage that into those areas. Yep. And as we're doing this one, we'll just see what we come up with here. And there's no great loss. Clean that out. Here's me telling you the measurements are great. Well, they are, but you've got to do your sums right too, guys. You know, you do have to play a part, and it's starting to tack up a bit already. And you can see this one is going white, which is what happens when it sets up for us. Scrape out the last of our resin here. You might ask, can we add a little bit of resin to that? Can we mix up a little bit of extra? Well, I suppose you could if you really felt the need, but in actual fact that hasn't done too badly. I can see I've possibly overfilled here a bit, so maybe I can sneak a bit out of there. and just pop it into here and help that come through, and that will just close off there. Yeah, look at that. Now the moral of the story is walk away, don't start fiddling. Don't keep fiddling because you'll make a mess. Yep. Now that is just not quite into that little star there, and I would really like him to get his little point there. So, okay, so while we're waiting, we just give our little cups a clean out, and I always sit my part A cup on the top of there, the part A bottle, and my part B cups, give it a wee wipe out so that it's all good for next time, particularly paying attention to where the measure marks are, and sit that on my part B. Yep, I tend to keep them in the box that they came in just because I stash them in there like so, and I always know where they are. Alrighty. So as you can see, these are drying up quite nicely, and they'll take another few minutes to really come away. And well, we'll just sit and watch them, I think, because it's actually quite fun to watch the change take place, and I can have a wee mouthful of coffee while we talk. So what can you do with your resin once it's cured and sorted and done? And look, there's a bit that got left over the side there. Don't know if this is going to work, but nothing ventured. Just see if that will set in there. Who knows? I digress. What can we do? We can leave them white, because it's a lovely white, and the back of it will be nice and smooth. And that's the other thing, is when you are using resin, have a nice, smooth, even table. Otherwise, you will find, or surface, you'll find that your resin tips to one end or the other of your mould. Yep. So let's just get you up here a little bit. I feel like I'm talking to the middle of the ear there. So yeah, so a nice flat surface, even measurements, mix well, a nice flat surface, and you know, if you haven't quite, something's not quite 100%, doesn't matter. We just had a bit of a play there, and it's actually filling up quite nicely, and I can see it's really whitening up now. I'm not going to lift it up and shift it around because it's still a bit soft and a bit liquid. Now, as the resin works, it does heat up. Now, our moulds are able to cope with that. And look, the detailing in these is just stunning, in these tapers. Look, this is the angels, or the angelic tapers, and with this particular one, I can see lots of different, like this one on the side here. You can see here she is with her lovely angelic wings and things, and the detailing comes down, and there's this curve here, and then you've got your taper. Well, there's nothing to stop you finishing your pour or your clay there, and then she's a perfect piece for a corner on your furniture, even with the taper on the corner of a leg coming down. She would just look stunning. She's a little bit wider, and as you can see, this one's a little bit narrower, and she's got this lovely scrolly detail here. Her wings are just a wee bit smaller, and we turn up, and our lovely third has definitely got more detail around her here, and then she has her wings, and she's another one that you can finish off here. It's probably, there's not quite, but even if you finish right there, then you could get your lovely little angel. And the pick side of it, the taper side of it, can be used and something else put on the top of it if that's what you so desire as well. But these are gorgeous, and the fact that there's 3 quite different designs in on this mould is really great. Now I'm looking down, and our moulds are quite white. They are almost set up. I've got something here I can lift. Usually I have a perspex sheet, but I don't have today. But they're set up enough that I feel comfortable with picking them up. Now I can feel the heat in the mould and on the bottom as the resin is working. And look, the detail of these is going to be stunning. They're not ready to come out yet, because you can see the end here of this one is still a bit clear. It is best to wait, and you will find that it's really very obvious when they're ready to pop, because they'll be firm, and if you bend the mould on this time, it just bends with us. Yeah. But if I did that when it was completely set up, the resin mould would just pop out. Yeah, because it would be nice and firm and go with that. But as I say, these are beautiful tapers moulds, and you can use the air dry clay or the resin, use them for Christmas, or use them on your furniture, particularly these ones with the stars and the angels as well, the angelic tapers. They don't have to be specifically for Christmas, and yet they can be made to be. When you have your resin, you can use our lovely mango as a chalk and water-based paint, and it paints on beautifully onto the resin, and then you highlight it with gold, or if you're really quite artistic, use your paints, and particularly on the Christmas ones, and give them a red hat, and there's some holly on there, so look, you know, pop a little fine painting in there if you wish, or just leave them. Oh, I love the idea of these, particularly the angelic ones, looking a little bit vintage. So paint them white or an off-white. Mango Sophia is a lovely soft warm white, and then a glaze. It would pick up all these details, and a little in the details, and a little on the flat surfaces, excuse me, and then wipe off as much as you want for the look that you like, and then seal those guys over, and you literally use them as a pick. Just pop in things if you wish, or pop a little hole in her head. Sounds mean, doesn't it? You could also pop a little hole down here somewhere, or one each in the wings. You can drill that. You can actually pop something in, like a little toothpick or something, as that resin is setting, or simply tie your ribbon around and work from there. Like this one particularly would be easy to tie some pretty ribbon around. Yeah, or glue it on the back. If all else fails, hot glue guns are amazing. Tight bonds, quick and thick, is quite good too. And pop the ribbon on the back, and it will just circle around. Ribbon or cord, whatever you are thinking you might use. And I can just, okay, so that's getting firmer in the center, but the ends are not quite done. Okay. Yeah, it's still bending, so it's just not ready to pop out at all. Yeah, look. So if it does that, it's not ready. The center I can feel here is quite firm, so it's almost good to go. But what I'll do is I'll take some photos and post them in the comments for you, so you can see what's happened with this and how it's all popped out. Okay, thanks for spending time with us today. Bye for now.